us and the collaboration that we're going to have going forward.
No better way to communicate to your audience.
How do we grow strategically now that we've gotten the right path forward? Hey everybody, Todd Schroth here with Agents Who Win and the show with Cami Baker. Cami, thank you for being here today. We're bringing value back to agents. We're trying to find the niches where people can make their riches. Got a book tour going, getting that plug in there. So if you're following us, check us out on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. And we just launched our Apple podcast, so this will come out on podcast as well. Guys, thanks for being here today. And Cami, thank you for volunteering your time, which is very valuable. And I know you're traveling the country in an RV, which love the lifestyle. So our topic today is real estate is hot, fundraising is not. Donate real estate. So let's talk about that.
I love that this has to do with niches or niches because this is the secret real estate niche that is already funding nonprofits by $9 billion a year. And that is with 99% of people not even knowing that it exists. So now that our big mouths have a hold of it, and now that we are playing and partnering with groups like EXP and mortgage companies and title companies and nonprofits, doing the book launch at a nonprofit that's actually featured in the book called The Haven. Now, what our job is, what our mission is, what my madness is to educate and let nonprofits, property owners, real estate agents, financial advisors, visionary leaders know this is a revolution. Nonprofits can get funded by the billions, and our real estate friends, our real estate agents get paid a full commission to handle these legacy listings. This is not asking realtors to do something for free. It's about donating real estate, but it's about making a full commission. You make money while you make a difference with us.
Nice. That's awesome. So let's talk about that. So I've got a piece of real estate that I need to sell. I need a tax write-off, something. Why am I donating my real estate? Why wouldn't I want to sell it? And let's just say it's free and clear. Why would I want to sell it and then, and give away the 200 grand? Why wouldn't I want to keep it? Assuming the house is worth 200, because that's impossible in this market.
Well, first of all, let's just say everybody's situation is different. We don't know what the tax consequences are of this individual. 80% of the people, Todd, that donate real estate do it for altruistic reasons. They are a veteran and they love our veterans. Yep. They got a house full of animals and they are saving the puppies. Their mother died of breast cancer. They had a child with autism. Like, it's really altruistic, heart-centered, but 20% do it for the tax deduction. So just to answer your question, there are basically three ways that a nonprofit can benefit from a gift of real estate. So to your point, number one, the donor could sell the property themselves and give the nonprofit the proceeds. The problem there is there are capital gains tax. So let's say it's $1 million condo. We don't know what the basis is. We don't know what their tax basis is, but let's just say in broad terms, there's a couple $100,000 that would go to the government. Well, there's 200,000 that's not going to the nonprofit. It's going to Uncle Sam. Yeah. And there's other tax consequences. So if it's $1 million piece of property and it is tax or mortgage free, lien free, and they're donating a whole $1 million, that $1 million is written off of their adjusted gross income. So right off the bat, what if they're in a 30% tax strategy? Well, there's $300,000 that they're not paying the government again because they donated the real estate. So there's tax advantages. Usually they're altruistic. The second way people can donate real estate is directly to the nonprofit that they love. So for example, Todd, who is a nonprofit that you love, that you care about?
We do a lot with the food banks. We do, we children's cancer. Let's just say Children's Miracle Network, because I used to do a lot with them.
So Children's Miracle Network, maybe someone wants to, let's call it that $1 million condo in Florida. Okay. Let's say it's got a $300,000 mortgage on it.
Okay.
When the donor donates the real estate, they need it to go to a 501c3 in order to get the tax benefits we talked about. In order for the Children's Miracle Network to take possession of that property and give them the tax incentive that they want, they have to pay off that $300,000 mortgage.
Okay.
They're not doing it.
Right.
They have bylaws in place that keep them from doing it. It's risky. They don't have a real estate team. So in general, 99% of the 1.5 million nonprofits, 180,000 of which are in Florida, 11,000 right in Orlando, they will not. They won't take on the risk. Even if you and I sit on the board, somebody's got to pay off that mortgage.
Right.
Somebody's got to take on the tax burden and the managing and maintaining. They won't do it. So the third way is the way that we do it. You have a third party, what we call specialized nonprofit, whose sole mission is to take gifts of real estate, pay off mortgages, give the donor cash if they want it, take possession of the property. It's all legal. There's all the paperwork done. They then hire you, the real estate agent, at a full commission to sell the property, and then the Children's Miracle Network gets 90% of the proceeds, and they didn't have to do anything, and it was risk-free and easy.
So let's say I'm working on an estate. Mom dies, I got $1 million condo, and I want to get it, and I don't want it because I want to just gift it out. And so I gift it to you guys with the direction that the money is going to CMN. And so you're going to have me set it. Let's just say it's got $500,000, $300,000 mortgage on it. So I'm going to gift it to you guys, or use. Are you acting like an intermediary, kind of?
We are representing a couple of different intermediaries.
Okay.
So these specialized nonprofits, we have a saying here: do what you do best and refer the rest. What
Right.
they do best is handle these transactions like nobody's business, but they suck at marketing themselves. So Cami Baker comes along and says, wait a minute, there's 2 million realtors in this country. What if we certify 1% of them to know how this works and bring it back to their communities? We'll bring you the deals. You give us a referral fee and everybody's happy. And that's how it works.
So it is like the term intermediary, like a 1031 exchange where you have that middleman who's just passing the funds along. So my VA just messaged and was confused on the show description. Sorry, I just saw the message pop up.
Squirrel.
So when I get the asset, I send it to you guys and say, hey, I want to put this to CMN. Sally intermediary jumps in and says, okay, cool. We'll take the asset. We'll pay off the $300,000. Now that that's done, we'll go back and hire you, the agent, to sell it. And then once it's sold, the money goes directly to CMN.
Correct.
Okay. So it's basically like a 1031 exchange for nonprofits.
Yes. But with the 1031 exchange, there's all the waiting period.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I'm just thinking about the process. Yeah. Sure. You don't have, obviously there's no 45 days. They got to identify another property and all that stuff. Yeah. But it's like that process where I've got that middleman that plays in there. Yep. So how does an agent get invested in that? Like, I don't have a probate attorney or, anything like that I've got a connection with that I'm going to get these estates from. So how do I get invested into that community or to be able to work this kind of system?
Ooh, Todd, what a great question, because it really depends on who does the agent want to do business with. So for example, there are a lot of realtors who are veterans, want to do business with veterans, give it 10% back of their commission to veteran groups, etc. So if someone wanted to work with veterans, holy cow, there are hundreds of veteran nonprofits and veteran-run businesses and veterans themselves who need to know about this. And when you're the only realtor that knows how to talk about this to those veteran groups, you get all that business. All those veteran groups have staff and friends and followers and funders that all need a realtor. And guess who's the realtor that they're going to use when you're the one that's helping them find these donations that are on average $550,000. So it depends on what the realtor's business model is. We could teach them how to do business with seniors. Like, that's a huge industry. What about
Yeah.
Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and Friends of Hospice and all the senior centers? We just did a presentation last night for an EXP group that is helping seniors, senior specialist,
Right.
and the guy lives in the villages. We're going to
Right.
go do a live in-your-face presentation in the villages because it's full of
Yeah.
people that are 60, 70, 80, 90 years old who have lots of real estate. They love these nonprofits. They need tax deductions, and they don't know that this is possible.
So when I'm trying to, I get your certification, you know, let's call it fundraising is not certification, or real estate is hot, fundraising is not certification, or donate real estate certification. So when I get that certification, how am I getting in front of those people right away to know who I am? I guess that's what I'm trying to understand. Like if I'm trying to go figure out how to market this, because it's a niche and the riches are in the niches, and this is something you can get rich on because there's, again, a lot of nonprofits. There's a lot of people who have a lot of real estate, and as they get older, they got to do something with it.
So it's called Certified Charitable Real Estate Specialist.
Perfect.
And you know, it's just like any other niche, Todd, in that, okay, well, if you want to become a luxury specialist, how do I go get in front of those people? Well, the luxury training people teach you how to do that.
Right.
So the first thing that we do is we have you come to the Certified Charitable Real Estate Masterclass. It's
Okay.
free. It's free because we understand this is so stinking simple. It is so simple that people want to complicate the crap out of it. So come to the master class and sit in for a couple hours and really wrap your head around, oh, okay. The reason I've been in real estate for 30 years and I've never heard of this is because 99% of nonprofits won't take real estate. Duh.
Right.
So if they won't take real estate, there's been no point in learning about it. But
Right.
you have a system that relinquishes them of any risk, any liability. They never take title. They don't have to change their board policies. All we need to do is have an intelligent, sophisticated conversation that makes me their real estate specialist, and I can help their donors learn how this works, which in turn turns into legacy listings for me, for the nonprofit, and for the whole community. So it depends on what the realtor's business model is. Some realtors do this because they want to recruit a team, and they have already extinguished all of their warm leads and they don't know anybody else that they can go talk to about their company. Now they can reach out to realtors all over the country and say, hey, you know, I see you do a lot for veterans groups or animal groups or children's groups. Have you heard about this charitable real estate agent thing? Let's create this network. In other words, it gives them way to start a relationship, break the ice with something that no one else is talking about yet, but they will be. By 2025, we will have certified charitable real estate specialists in every state, in every city.
Awesome. So when is so let's take a two-part question. You're going to the villages. What is that going to look like? Are you talking to realtors or are you talking to the homeowners?
Well, once again, it depends on what that realtor wants. We're going to the villages in this case because that realtor is the realtor for the villages. So
Okay.
he wants to build relationship with them. Of course, there's other realtors, so he wants to stand out. He wants to be their go-to person. So he'll invite 50, 100 of the local residents. Hey, come learn how you can benefit our causes and communities. Come learn how you can actually leave legacy for any nonprofit that you love. So when those property owners come, we'll educate them. There's other events that we do where we show up. Like, for example, last Friday, we were in Clearwater and we did a presentation at a title company. The title company invited the realtors that they know because the realtors are guaranteed a full commission, and there's 11,000 nonprofits in Orlando and 10,000 nonprofits in Clearwater. 10,000. What if 1%? What if just 100 of them wanted to do something with this? Average donations $550,000. Do the math.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm laughing at the 11,000 in Orlando, and there's 10,000 in Clearwater, and Clearwater is the size of our Altamont Springs suburb. You know, it's like, where did you come from, Clearwater?
Pinellas County.
Okay.
My bad. The county.
Okay.
So
But still,
Pinellas
it's
County and Orange County.
yeah, that's still such a beach area, seasonal residents, but it's also much older population. So people that have got money have gone to the beach and kept their money there. So it's a reason why those nonprofits are heavier on that side. Makes sense. So I love the fact. So he's going after homeowners to talk about building back to the local community, and donate real estate, et cetera, et cetera. So some people it's another way to get rid of the money. Now, if I'm going to the class, is it in person or is it on Zoom? How do you guys host the class?
Both.
Okay.
And so, for example, tomorrow night when we have our book launch, Real Estate Top Fundraising is Not, the book launch is live at the Haven in Sarasota. It's a wonderful nonprofit that's been there 60 years. They're featured in the book. They're holding this book launch, but we also have it on Zoom. And there's people from all over the country that'll sit in to the presentation on Zoom. So the more live presentations, the better we love it, because we are traveling in this RV, and we do have a 5-foot book cover on the outside of it on both sides. And it does say, donate real estate. You choose the charity. We'll do the rest on the back of it. So we want to show up live. And Florida is the first state that this is becoming a CE course.
Yeah.
Realtors can get 3-hour credit. Now, we don't really want realtors who just want to get their credit. They're going to sit there and sleep through the class and just get their credit. But any way we can expose this to the people that want to make money, making a difference, we'll do it. So we're going to be going all over live and Zoom.
That's kind of crazy. It's like, and I love that you want to be dedicated to people who want to do it. But you're going all, so people can get it on Zoom. So you're at the Haven, I guess, is it tomorrow? Or no, the end of this week?
Actually,
Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes I forget what day of the week it is as well. The weeks get shorter and shorter, and I don't know why. But so you guys have the thing going on at the Haven, so people could jump in on the Zoom that way and get the designation as well. And then I love the fact you've got this on your truck. So now I've got a tax write-off I'm driving around. I mean, hey, why not? It works.
Well, look, this lifestyle isn't for everyone, but because we're traveling in a 30-foot RV and living the lifestyle with the scooter, we've even got our branding on my scooter. When we're driving around, we've got a QR code, so you can go to the website from the scooter. If you see, you're like, "Wow, that's a cool scooter," and click on the QR code, and there you are. But we want to meet people. We want to shake hands and be face to face, belly to belly. And we also want to let people around the country come in on Zoom. Now, of course, the people who are coming in around the country are not getting CE credits, but we didn't start this to be a 3-hour credit. We started it to create a revolution and fund our nonprofits by the billions while paying our real estate friends full commissions in the millions.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. So how many agents do you guys have certified right now?
There's a couple hundred around the country. We've been doing it word of mouth. We've been putting this thing together one piece at a time. We went down and met with Gene Frederick last year and told him about it. I've got an interview at therock.com/EXP with Gene. Fred DeFalco here in Florida just came on board. So we've got this map that shows the whole country. And if you hover over any state, you'll see where there's a certified charitable real estate specialist. But when this started, I thought realtor, let's certify realtors. But what we've learned, Todd, is that every class we have, half the people there are realtors, but the other half are the nonprofits and the financial advisors and the fundraisers and the leaders. So now we've made it to where others can get certified as well, including nonprofits. Why would a nonprofit want to get certified? Because the realtors are looking for nonprofits who get it, who say, wait a minute, all I got to do is put you in front of my 10,000 donors, and you're going to help educate them that they can give me millions of dollars, and you're going to handle the transaction, and there's no risk for me. I don't even need to know the address of the property. That's what we're saying. But it's so hard for the nonprofits to wrap their head around, because they've got policies and procedures and they're risk adverse, and they got board members who are just, they're averse to anything but cash.
Yeah.
So when the nonprofits actually show up on the map and the realtors find a veteran group and a children's group and churches, oh my God, 28% of all money given in this country goes to religion and churches. Big business. So so imagine this, talking about the niche.
Yeah.
Charitable gifting of real estate is the secret niche that no one knows about. But in that niche, you can be the niched veteran group, children group, churches, Catholic Church, Methodist Church, Baptist, Satanist, whatever. Right. It's a 501c3. It can take a donation. So you can actually niche down in the niche.
Yeah. No, I love that, because if we belong to a church that has people with a lot of money, so they're going to do something with it. The church can't take it, so they don't need the assets. They want the cash to obviously run their church and make payrolls and all that other good stuff. So call you up. Hey, I got this property. They want to donate the money to the church over here, and they just go through and do that process.
That's really as simple as it is. And look, for those of you who say, well, my church will take real estate. They'll take real estate in their own backyard that's mortgage free and easy peasy.
Yeah.
But what if it's a $10 million strip mall in California, or a big $5 million ranch in Texas, or a $20 million townhouse in New York City? What are they going to do then? How are they going to pay off those mortgages? See, that's where we come in. So we just want people to know this is an option. This is something that you can do. To 6 nonprofits who benefit from non-cash assets grow at 6 times the rate of those who only take in cash. So if you're a nonprofit who can handle your own local deal, God bless, go do it. But why limit yourself to 0.25% of the population when you could benefit from real estate anywhere in the country, and in some cases anywhere in the world?
So to our viewers that are outside of Orlando and want to get in on one of these presentations to get certified in it, whether they get CE credit or not, how do they go about finding out when you're hosting classes or when you're going to be at an event, maybe in their own hometown? So
our website is The Rock.
Okay.
RAOC. It's the acronym for Real Agent of Change. TheRock.com/masterclass tells you when the masterclasses are. They're live once a month, and we also have them pre-recorded. If you want to sit through a few hours of class all by yourself late at night, you could do it that way too.
Okay.
So when you go to the website, you can also go to therock.com/101. We'll put all this in the show notes. The 101 will give you a 20-minute overview of what we're talking about here. We've got stories of case studies of land, of residential, of commercial, who donated it, why they donated it, how the deal went down. There's more information with us than you could ever possibly need. People just need to come to this with a childlike wonder of my nonprofit, not just my nonprofit. You're saying that on average of the 1.5 million nonprofits in this country, there are an average of 499 nonprofits per county in the country. So the average agent does a tri-county area. So the average agent has 1,500 at least nonprofits in their tri-county area that need their help.
Right.
It's just that simple. And 65% of these deals come from financial advisors, because they have hundreds of clients who want to be philanthropic and need a tax deduction. So there's so many ways to position, partner, and promote people to come together to make money making a difference.
No, that's great. And the other part is like maybe connect with your financial advisor to get you in front of the right people as well. I'm just trying to think while we're talking about who I want to get in front of, and how to have that conversation. So the financial advisors are great. Obviously, if you can figure out how to do a home buyer or home seller or home donation presentation, be great. So it'd be interesting to see how the one goes in the villages when you guys have that coming up.
Well, we have all that kind of stuff outlined. And look, some people who become a real agent of change, we call them charitable real estate champions.
Yeah.
Some of them are like me. They got a big mouth and they want to get on stage. They want to be seen and be heard, kind of like Superman,
Right.
out, letting people know. Some people want to be like Clark Kent, behind the scenes. So for those who want to be behind the scenes, we'll show up and do the presentation, whether
Right.
it's me or one of the other real agents of change that you can partner with who wants to be on the stage. And then, for those who do want to be on the stage, we have all these presentations. We share them. We can create them custom for them, and we teach them how to do a presentation.
So I'm basically getting the information. I can go present it myself because I've taken the certification. I've followed all of your guidelines. Now I can teach it out to the consumer as well, basically.
Absolutely. And so it's so important for people to come to the masterclass. The reason we're keeping it free for as long as we are,
Yeah.
eventually it won't be, but for now, we want you, the realtor, to bring your mortgage company, bring your church deacon, bring that friend of yours who has 18 cats and is always wanting you to donate to the animal rescue. Bring these people to understand how simple this really can be, because here's the problem. People think, what's the catch?
Right.
It sounds so good. Like, what's the catch? Where's the shoe going to drop? What's happening? How can it possibly be win-win-win? Sorry, negative person. It's win-win-win. The
Right.
nonprofits are getting funded. Average of $550,000 is the equity. So for our luxury friends who say, well, I don't want a listing for $550,000, didn't say it was the listing. It's a $5 million listing, and it's got $550,000 in equity that's going to the nonprofit.
Right.
So, it's a win-win for the nonprofit, for the donor, and for the real estate agents, not only because you get a full commission, but this is the best social responsibility campaign ever created. 87% of your marketplace, no matter where you are, 87% of people have been polled by everybody. And they say that they will choose the realtor, the mortgage broker, the title company, the dog walker, the attorney who is socially responsible. And with us, you don't have to pick just the Humane Society or just your church. You can be the go-to for hundreds of nonprofits in your area. Bam, social responsibility at its best.
So that kind of ties into another question. So I just closed my deal. I've got $1 million, that we've closed with you, but I don't want to give the whole million to the pet shelter or to the dog and cat shelter because I don't like cats. So I want to give it to the dog shelter and the vets association. So can I give it that way, like where I can split it in 2 or 3 different pieces?
Todd, I'm so virtually in love with you for asking good questions that help clarify stuff like that. That is one more of the many thousands of reasons why the average nonprofit won't take the real estate. Because if it is the church that's on the hook, and then the donor says, well, yeah, but I want 50,000 to go over here and I want 100,000 to go over there, they're not going to do that.
Right.
So to answer your question, not only can they divvy it up, like if it's one donation and they want to give 50,000 here and 100,000 there, they can also do what is the financial advisor's favorite nonprofit, which is the donor advised fund, which I had never heard of until 2.5 years ago. But simplicity, real estate is a hard asset that the financial advisor cannot manage.
Right.
When we show the financial advisor how they can take $1 million piece of property that the financial advisor is not making any money on, liquidate that real estate, and have that donor put it in a donor advised fund, now the financial advisor is making fees to manage that account. And what a donor advised fund is, now there's $1 million in a fund that the donor advises out to nonprofits as they see fit. So, and they can take that deduction over a 6-year period. And now they got $1 million in this fund that's growing by interest, and they can give $50,000 to that nonprofit every year until they die, or whatever the hell they want to do with it.
So let's go into that one for a second. So I just closed the deal. It's $1 million with you. I'm going to put I'm going to put $500,000 into a charity now, and I want to give the other $500,000 to them, but I want to see how they work with it, or maybe it's $100,000, whatever. But I want to do it over the next 10 years, so I could take that and where it's donating $100,000 at a time. Now, second part of the question is, if I donate it, if I have you guys, liquidate the asset, and I've got that $1 million that we've got to donate, you're saying I don't have to donate the whole thing in 1 year, and then do I pay tax on it, what's left over that I didn't donate?
No, not only do you not pay tax on it, it grows interest.
Interesting. Okay.
So I love that you bring this up, because there's a lot of really bad nonprofits out there.
Right. And I want to help yours, but I want to see what you do first before I go all in with you.
I love that. As a matter of fact, just because of this comment you've just made, we're going to teach a whole class on that, because all these, look, nonprofit, they have their hand out.
Yeah.
Cami, how can we get on your list of nonprofits that just get a free handout? Give us a fish. Look, we're trying to teach you how to fish. The donations of real estate are in your donor list. The nonprofits are so far behind in their thinking that they think they got to go find some fictitious, magical unicorn of a donor that they don't already know. But their donors are already, look, here's a story. Everyone has a Linda. National Jewish Health is a huge nonprofit, brings in hundreds of millions of dollars a year. They have a donor list of 300,000 donors. One of their donors is Linda. Linda, a couple of years ago, heard someone from the team talking about this, found out she could donate real estate. Now, Linda was giving $25 a year for 32 years. $25 a year.
Right.
She learned about this. Lo and behold, Linda had a cabin in the Poconos. It was a family property. She'd had it for decades. It was in disrepair. The plumbing and electricity wasn't working anymore. She couldn't even go stay there. She donated the property. We say everyone has a Linda because the smallest animal shelter to the largest nonprofits like Jewish Health have people who have real estate, and they're not wealthy. They're not walking around with a big tag on their forehead. Hey, I got multiple property. Talk to me. But when they find it, friends, we are educating. Just tell people. Just let them make their own decision.
Yeah. No, exactly. So, I mean, we own a lot of real estate. It doesn't mean I got a lot of cash on hand. So I'm wealthy by income, but not by net worth, or liquidity.
Well, exactly. So this is how to help the donor give smarter. They are cash conservative and property rich.
Yeah, exactly.
And we could get into so many more levels of psychology around this, but it is proven. Dr. Russell James wrote the foreword in our book, Real Estate is Hot, Fundraising is Not, foreword by Dr. Russell James. They have proven that when people donate a piece of real estate, they tend to donate two in the same year because they find out how easy it is. Just like a 1031 tax exchange. I had a client 15 years ago. We were selling 6 properties, and I told him about the 1031. He was 80 years old. He was crotchety. His CPA was 100 years old. He said, yeah, we're not doing that. And then after he paid taxes, first, second, third property, then he was like, oh, what's that 1031 thing? All right.
Right.
So we're just educating people to know. So the fact is, people will donate more than one piece in a year. People can donate 3 to 7 times more than they normally would when they can give a non-cash asset. And as Dr. James has proven, that woman, Linda, who was given $25 a year, I spoke to the fundraiser, Kelly, at that nonprofit about 6 months ago, when she said Linda now gives $500 a year because there's a psychological change when people start giving from their wealth bucket they start seeing themselves and their nonprofit differently, and they actually give more cash.
Yeah. I mean, we want to give more. It's a matter of where you're going to pull it from. So if I could sell a house in the Poconos and, not have to worry about it going out, it's great. So here's the other part too. I want to divide up the asset. So we hire you to sell the asset, or we not hire you. We partner with you to liquidate the asset so I can donate my cash. Now I want to keep $500,000 back of that $1 million property. Kid, I sell it with you guys and then donate $500,000 and get $500,000 back, and I would most likely probably pay tax on that $500,000 that I kept.
Well, and yes, and the way that this works, when the donor says, you know what, I got this $1 million piece of property. I love Children's Miracle Network, but I don't love them that much. I bought it for $500,000 10 years ago. I want to get my $500K back.
Right.
When they are introduced to the specialized nonprofit who makes all this happen easy peasy, the specialized nonprofit gives them $500,000 within a couple of weeks, 30 days top, because the property has to be free and clear to exchange hands with the 501c3. So that donor gets their $500,000. It's called a bargain sale. It's an IRS term. Bargain sale, meaning that the nonprofit got $1 million condo at a bargain of $500,000. So donor has their $500,000. They've got their $500,000 deduction because they took $500 cash.
Right.
They got that. They're done. They're off the deed. They are done. 501c3 that now has title puts it on the market with one of your realtors at a full commission. When it sells, that 501c3 recoups all of their expenses. $500,000 cash goes right back in their pocket. They pay the commission. They pay all their holding costs, etc. And then Children's Miracle Network get about $400,000 that's left after expenses.
Okay. So not a bad scenario. You can divide out the asset. It's a matter of what your tax liabilities are and how much money you want to get and all that kind of good stuff.
And these are all, they're all reasons why your church, your veteran group, your food pantry, Children's Miracle Network, they may have a real estate department because they are such a big nonprofit. But here's what we know. Fidelity Charitables is the largest nonprofit of the 1.5 million. The largest one does not take their own real estate. Even they use the same team that we do.
Yeah, even better.
So now, Todd, we have put together a whole list of nonprofits who do take their own real estate. And we've been sharing those. And people will say, well, why would you be showing us who takes real estate? Isn't that interrupting your business? Well, no. Look, Cars for Kids, been taking cars for years. They take real estate now.
Right.
And if all the donor wants is a tax deduction, donate to Cars for Kids. Great organization. But if the donor wants to give their money to their nonprofit, they're not giving it to Cars for Kids because Cars for Kids ain't cutting a check to your church.
Right.
So the reason that we're showing all these nonprofits that are finally waking up is because we want to show you it's happening. It's happening all around you. The only question is your community going to benefit from millions of dollars? And that's not even the question, because they are. The question is, are you going to be the one that brings it to them? Or is it going to be that other realtor, the one that's always
we don't need to say her name.
Board, right? Right. So don't let your competition. It's going to be wonderful when your church gets $1 million donation. Right. But when she's standing up at the pulpit with the PR and the media and the camera handing over the check, not only did you not get paid, but she just got accolades for it. Oops, I learned about this and I didn't do anything.
Yep, exactly. So as we wrap up, what are some top tips we could throw out to the agents that are out there to kind of think about this or to get started with it?
Just come to the master class while it's still free.
Okay.
So there's shorter 20-minute segments. You can go to therock.com. You can go to our Facebook group and watch videos. But why not come and just sit in on the class? This is the certification class. We just call it the master class so that everybody will come sit in. If you want to get certified, great. You've already taken the class. You pay $400. You take a test. Now you're on the map. You're a certified real estate specialist. And now, Todd, we can have an intelligent conversation with you about what to do with it. You don't know what to do with it right now because you don't know what it is. When you know what it is, now we can talk about how to leverage it.
Well, we understand it more, so it makes a difference. And it's like asking you, how can I teach it and stuff? So no, that's awesome. So guys, in the show notes, we'll have the website for the masterclass and the Facebook group and other links to connect with Cami. Cami, I appreciate you being here today. I mean, this is great information. It's a way to like create another niche in real estate and, you know, give back to the audience.
Well, as Gene Frederick said in our interview, he said, what I love about this is I don't have to create the niche. You've already done it.
Even better.
Right. And guys, I will be at the EXP Summit next week. I don't know when you're going to be seeing this video, but if you're in Orlando in June 2022, come on out, knock on the door. You'll see the book on the side of the rig. We'll be showing up. As a matter of fact, Todd, that first night, everybody's wearing white.
Right.
Guess who's coming in a full-length red gown?
Oh, my God. That's why I don't go to white parties. I don't want to buy the pants. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
I love your energy. You're good stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Guys, thanks for being on the show today. Cami, thank you for being on here. And again, like and subscribe us, follow us, share us with your friends, help us build the audience here, and check us out on Apple Podcasts. We will see you guys soon.